scores!
Hi, welcome. Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Welcome back here to McMorran Place. Prowlers and Rockers in a pre-Thanksgiving showdown. Right here on the PHP Network. Will Wiggleman back with you once again. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Well, the Prowlers and the Rockers, as we mentioned, both in rough stretches to start this season. As we begin by taking a look at the last game for these two teams. And we start with the Rockers, who got blown out by the Watertown Wolves last Friday night as they fell 8-3 at home, despite Jamison Milam finding the score sheet for the first time this season with a goal and an assist. But Michael Mercurio with his fifth straight multi-point game, 2 goals, 3 assists. And the Wolves win the only game of the weekend. Of course, the Saturday game was postponed due to technical difficulties within the Rockers arena. So second night in a row for the FPHL that a game was postponed, and it was the Motor City Rockers and Watertown Wolves, the victims. That game will have to be made up later in the season. Meanwhile, for the Prowlers, new night, same story for them as they fell to the Monroe Moccasins 3-2. They lost a third period lead once again, and 3-2 the final there, despite 2 goals from Austin Federley and 2 assists for Matt Graham in his 400th career FPHL game. As we take a look at the standings, Prowlers lucky they haven't fallen down at all after a rough weekend last weekend, but they certainly are not looking good in the games remaining department, as both Hudson Valley and Danbury immediately behind them have games in hand, so they'll have opportunities to climb back and beat the Prowlers and get ahead of them in the standings. So Port Huron certainly in some trouble, but they'll need to pick up some points to stay ahead. And with, again, the games played not really in their favor. Rockers still on the outside looking in, still significantly on the outside looking in. Well, the Rockers have been helped, though, this season by Eli Rivers, who's had a strong start to the year. 6 goals, 11 points. He's the outright leader in both of those categories, and he's tied with Sam Gagnon in the assists category with 5 so far this season. So Eli Rivers, a bright spot for the Motor City Rockers in a season that they haven't had too many, at least so far. Meanwhile, for the Prowlers, they made a number of transactions this week, and we outlined it on the Prowlers social media page. I talked about it with Prowlers head coach Matt Graham, who we'll get to in just a few moments. Kenny Stiles, one of the new signings for the Prowlers. He played the last 4 years at Northland College, spent some time with Daniel Chartrand at Northland. So he'll be inserted into the lineup to try and bring some offense to a Prowlers lineup that certainly does need it. But again, I talked with Prowlers head coach Matt Graham about last weekend and also about bringing in these new faces. That was Prowlers head coach Matt Graham talking about all the changes and what needs to change for Port Huron after the rough weekend out last weekend. Here is the lineup tonight for the Port Huron Prowlers. Lots of changes again with players coming in, players moving out. Tristan Sim and Joel Frazee will be playing their first home games as Prowlers this season. Of course, they were here 2 weeks ago when they were members of the Blue Ridge Bobcats who got swept by the Prowlers in this building. But Frazee starting on the left wing with Matt Graham and Austin Federley. Tristan Sim gets the center. Tucker Scantleberry and Jeremy Rancourt back for the Prowlers up on that top line. Kenny Stiles with his college teammate Daniel Chartrand, along with Jake Vaughn on the third ring. And Luke James, the extra forward tonight. Little bit of a change in the defense pairings tonight. Adam Heinzel now playing with Brett Lockhart. Nikita Petrovitsin moves to a spot with Brian Parsons, while Reed Cooper, the new signing in net for the Prowlers tonight, is the backup to Valtteri Nusiainen. Well, there were some delays to the pregame festivities here tonight as the Rockers and the referees just did hit the ice, and we will send you down to ice level for the Port Huron Prowlers starting lineup.
presented by Orthopedic Associates. At forward, number 14, Kenny Styles. At forward, number 21, Dan Chartrand. At forward, number 96, Jake Vaughn. On defense, number 18, Brett Lockhart. On defense, number 74, Adam Heintzel. And in goal, number 31, the very Lucianen. And let's welcome to the AC rest of your Port Huron Prowlers. That's Coach Prowlers with that great assistant coaches are Alex Jackson and Chris Ballman. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, and gentlemen may suggest removing your caps as we honor America and salute the men and women serving our country with the singing of our national anthem, sponsored by Duraclean by Mike Batchelor. We remind all members of the armed forces and veterans who are present but not in uniform that you may render the military salute. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a special welcome to Gordon Lightfoot Tribute Group, the Voices of Sundown. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red flare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And that was Gordon Lightfoot Tribute Group Sundown on tonight's national anthem from McMorran Place. They're just moments away from puck drop. Let's take a look at the starting goaltending matchup for tonight's game. It'll be Valtteri Nusiainen and Ricky Gonzalez. Nusiainen trying to shake off a couple of losses last weekend. He made 21 saves on 24 shots last Saturday, but still among the league leaders in goals against average and save percentage. Meanwhile, Gonzalez has been the horse for the Motor City Rockers ever since Trevor Babin mysteriously has not been able to play. Prince Sommerfeld, the emergency backup again tonight. Fifth straight game starting for Ricky Gonzalez, trying to improve on his numbers. He is a 4-6 record. We're underway here tonight. Kenny Styles, in his pro debut, was taking that faceoff for the Port Huron Prowlers. That was Avery Smith dumping it around for the Rockers as he's back after serving a 4-game suspension. Here is Styles weaving his way in over to Vaughn. Quick shot kicked out by Gonzalez, and swooping in from the point to collect is Lockhart. Try to feed it back to Vaughn. He gets there, and he dumps it around towards Chartrand. He cycled it around as Chartrand was chased by the new captain for these Motor City Rockers, Josh Colton. It was Jamison Milam to begin the year, but since Milam has taken over as the coach, they've switched some things up. Here's Johnson, a shot off the post. Tellstrom recollects down to Federley, trying to one-hand it to the slot. But instead it's taken away by Mike Wynn, who the last time he was in this building incurred a 2-game suspension after a headbutt on Brett Lockhart near the end of that game. That was a 5-1 Prowlers win on Military Appreciation Night. Graham over to Federley. Tried to feed it back all the way across. Graham taps back to the point. Thelstrom's wrister was blocked on the way through by Eli Rivers. Joe Frazee getting a chance on this line for the Prowlers. Tried to slip it through, but it came out of the zone. Thelstrom over to Alex Johnson. TJ Sneathard in on the forecheck. Tristan Sim up to Jeremy Rencourt, number 46 tonight. He turned it over. Here's Sneath the other way. Drop pass, gave it right back to Rencourt. Now Sim up the other direction. Centering feed, looking for Rencourt. Got through him, and out comes Rivers. Sneath fires it all the way across, and Parsons will slow things down. Remember, Rencourt, one of those collegiate signings for the Prowlers at the end of last season. He was going to coach youth hockey this year, found some time to come back and play a few games this week. We'll see if he continues with the Prowlers throughout the rest of this season. He said he had the itch as that one tossed out of play. And it looks like this will be the first penalty of the game, as they'll call a delay of game against the Motor City Rockers, and the former Prowler Sam Gagnon headed to the penalty box. So Port Huron's power play out for the first time. 0 for 2 on Saturday in Monroe. Still fourth in the league at 22.6%. Rockers PK struggling this year, 80.4% right now. As the faceoff won back by Sim, settled down by Federley. And now Sim back to the point again to Federley. Federley straight on, forced back by Rotundi. Over to Alex Johnson. Back to Federley. Matt Graham setting up in front. Lockhart sent it across looking for Sim. That was kicked away by Milam, the player head coach for these Motor City Rockers, and cleared down ice. Milam officially hired by the Rockers after the last time the Prowlers played against Motor City. He's the third coach since training camp began for the Rockers, and still playing in his age 40 season. Graham behind the net. Over to Johnson. Federley with space up high. Now to Lockhart. Sent it off the corner boards intentionally to Johnson. Now Federley again. Minute 8 left in the Prowlers' man advantage. Lockhart had gone off for a change, so Federley's pass was to nobody. Here's Carson Baptiste looking for a short-handed rush. Tied up nicely by Matt Graham. And Graham steps out and starts up ice. Hands off to Tucker Scantleberry, fresh off the bench. His shot stopped by Gonzalez. The rebound off the post. Second post already for the Prowlers. This game's just 3.5 minutes old. And he caught that right post just like Alex Johnson did earlier. Prowlers still on the man advantage for another 33 seconds. Chartrand able to keep that one alive. Frazee turning. And goes down to Chartrand. Taken in by Nick McGill-Diaz. Now Vaughn, back pass to Scantleberry. Downhill across to Thelstrom. Tristan Wells right in on him. Now back to Thelstrom with some space. Lets it go, and Wells blocked it. Wells is off to the races. Short-handed, Tristan Wells stopped by Nusiainen. Penalty expires as the Prowlers move back up. Here's Vaughn, lost the handle, recollects it in the corner. Digging away against Gagnon. And now Gagnon sent it in Wells' direction. He dumps it in, takes a hit from Parsons, and then goes off for a change. Gagnon picks up this dump on the other side, taps it back around this way. Adam Heinzel fresh off the bench. Sends it out. Milam now wearing an A for the Rockers. He dumps it around. Rivers taken in by Parsons. Back this side, it's Heinzel and Sneath coming together. Now Kenny Stiles tried to play it away from Baptiste, worked up the wall. Milam kept it in. Sneath behind the net, tried to center for Baptiste. Good stick by Parsons to get it in the way. This puck just does slip out to center where it's played by Tim Delaney. Good action early on in this one. Shots already 2 apiece. Still looking for our first goal We already have our first big Valtteri Nusiainen save. Milam waits for his team to finish a change. Now goes with a cross-corner dump. Adam Heinzel tracks it down. Plays it away from James Kakos, who signed back earlier this week. Colton to the net, deflected, and Nusiainen able to make the save and hang on. 14-13 left to go in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. Prowlers and Rockers still scoreless. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network, providing resources and funding to help start or grow your business. Small business support in participating Region 6 counties. Take advantage of the network's free training and events for entrepreneurs and small business owners. The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network aims to boost your chances of success. Learn more about the network's Small Business Cohort Program. With rentable workspaces, business coaching, training, and funding opportunities, it's time to become a client of the Eastern Michigan Small Business Network.
Back here in Port Huron, 14-13 left to go in the opening period. Prowlers, of course, with a number of new additions this week, and that includes Reed Cooper, who's the backup goaltender tonight. And in response, they had to release Makar Sokolov, and that, of course, drew a lot of attention. Sokolov, bit of a fan favorite here in Port Huron, as Gagnon shot that one wide. Wynn kept it in at the point. But Sokolov likely did not want to be a number 3 goaltender. That's what he would have been staring at, and that's probably what he talked about with Prowlers head coach Matt Graham, and Graham decided to grant him his release so that he can try to be a number 1 or a number 2 elsewhere and bring Cooper in. And again, that caused certainly a lot of uproar because Sokolov was a fan favorite, but if you go strictly by the numbers, and I like Makar Sokolov, he's a great guy, but if you go strictly by the numbers, he would be last in the FPHL right now in save percentage, and the Prowlers struggling on offense. They certainly need someone who can have a high save percentage. Meanwhile, Valtteri Nusiainen, playing behind the same team, has a save percentage in the top 3 in the FPHL. So really, that's the big difference. And they'll see if Reed Cooper can find some success as well. He's expected to play one of the games against Danbury's. That shot off a body, up in the air, rattles around, styles a shot off the arm of Ricky Gonzalez as it was caught up in the skates of Chartrand and Colton right in front of the net. This one slipped out of the zone all the way down, icing waved off. As Parsons waits, and now he works out. Up to Graham. Now on to Nikita Petrovitsin. Prowlers also released Michael Houlihan and Gavin Fleck. As Sneath takes it to the net, and he couldn't stop it short side. Graham had it knocked off his stick by Sneath. Behind the cage, it's Baptiste. Out high, McGill Diaz. Looking for a shooting lane. He just riffs it off the back wall. Sent back out in front. Vaughn pushed it to the corner. Petrovitsin and Sneath come together there. Baptiste trying to pull it out. Graham able to. Tried to go off the window. And now Petrovitsin with his attempt to get it out. And he's successful. Cody Oakes, though, right to McGill Diaz. And right back in comes the puck with some fresh bodies getting on the ice for Motor City. Sneath turning away from Frazee. Rivers taken in behind the net by Fellstrom. Out high. It's McGill Diaz right along the dasher. And it lands in the corner. Federley lost it. And Holt's shot goes over top of the cage. As Federley's pass went off a skate and right to the stick of the veteran George Holt, signed back today. Played 22 games with the Rockers last season. Here is Holt, cross corner dump. Fellstrom first on it. Off the back boards. It came right to Gagnon. Centering feed saved by Nusiainen, robbing Rotundi on the back door as the Prowlers survive a giveaway. Sim rips it back to Thelstrom. And now on to Alex Johnson. Makes a move around Avery Smith. Johnson into the offensive zone, working on Delaney. And finally, Johnson dumps it around behind the net. Comes back to the side he was on. So he and Smith tie up. Loose stick there. Luke James grabs it and goes out to Chartrand, fresh off the bench. His shot blocked by Wells. Second opportunity, gloved down by Smith. Recollected at center by Lockhart, who tosses it back in. Milan played it right towards his bench. Vaughn puts it back in, and Vaughn with a nice reverse hit on Avery Smith, who was trying to lay the body. That puck just did slip out of the zone, so offsides are the Prowlers as Vaughn brought it back in. Kenny Stiles back out there wearing number 14 for the Prowlers, as we mentioned at the top. He played with Daniel Chartrand at Northland College. He's a Trenton, Michigan native. Finished up his senior year at Northland last season, 6 points in 25 games. This is his pro debut. Josh Colton, D to win. He gets the red line and gets it deep. Lockhart first on it, plays it around towards Heinzel. Now Lockhart on towards Chartrand. Vaughn jumping and leaping at it with his glove. And now Chartrand kicks it up to his stick. One hands it into the zone. Wynn takes it there. And now Colton up the left wing side looking for Sneath. Batted back by Parsons. Now it's on his stick. Petroditson over to Kenny Stiles. Cross corner dump from the red line. Chased down by Federley. But he's forced out of the zone by Motor City pressure. Petroditson to Federley. Back pass looking for Graham. What was behind him. And the Prowlers have to regroup once more. Graham to Federley. Dances in. Little toe drag, but couldn't pick it up on the other side. And Federley down on the ice. May have taken a stick or an elbow or a body up high. He's slow to his skates. Heading back to the Prowler bench. Meanwhile, it's Holt. Had the puck go off his stick. Petroditson spun away from him. But Holt able to take the puck away. Here's Gagnon. Back pass in front. Backhand shot. Goes just wide on Kuhn. Now Oakes at the top. His wrister off the back wall. And Nusiainen kept it from bouncing back in front. Rencourt on towards Frazee. Off his stick. And McGill Diaz settles things down in his own end as the Prowlers get a change. McGill Diaz works up into the offensive zone, fired it wide, and it caroms back out to neutral ice. Not too much in the way of whistles in this opening 20 minutes. Wells gave it off. They tried to slip it back to him, but Thelstrom got in the way, and he has Scantleberry streaking out of the zone. Here comes Tucker Scantleberry. Outside try, rose just over top of the cage. McGill Diaz right up the boards and out of the zone. Sim right there for the Prowlers. Drops it for Thelstrom before he's sent to the ice by Wells. Now Thelstrom having some trouble with Rivers. Able to take it back and send Sim on his way. Has Scantleberry with him. The trailer's Johnson, but Smith came back to get a stick on that pass. Sent up to Avery Smith. Working on Lockhart. Johnson coming back as well. And the save made by Nusiainen with the pad. Lockhart finishes his check. Meanwhile, it's Chartrand. 1-on-3. Curls back, waits for help. He slips it to Lockhart. His shot blocked by Milam. And sent softly out of the zone off the boards. Vaughn turns it right back around. Milam couldn't find Kekos with that pass. Heinzel split Stiles and Chartrand with that feed. Fans starting the Let's Go Prowlers chant. 7 minutes left to go here in period one. Shot 7-4 Motor City. A sneak backhanded that one over top of the cage. It's Baptiste right along the wall. 2 Prowlers on him. Chartrand tosses it to center. And Wynn goes D to Colton. Off the far wall. It's worked in. Quick shot. Misses wide. Off the stick of Ryan Rotundi. Another takeaway at center for the Rockers. Rotundi once again misses the net. This time it comes to Colton, though. Down low looking for Gagnon off his stick. Prowlers challenge him. Gagnon around the other side. Wynn goes D to Wells. Now Colton, watched by Graham. That one ends up in the far corner. Rotundi out high. Wynn to the net. Kick save, Nusiainen. Rebound collected by Rotundi. Colton at the point, deflected by Wells, but it hit Matt Graham. And finally, Brian Parsons will try and relieve the pressure. He gets the red line, couldn't get it deep though. Prowlers in the midst of a change. Here comes Kuhn with some space. His shot stopped by Nusiainen as Petrovitsin came back to cut down the angle. Now Parsons still on a long shift, fanned on the pass. Sim able to recollect, gets it to Scantlebury, and the Prowlers start up ice. Scantlebury floats it towards Sim. Curls back, looking for Rencourt, just out of his reach. Kuhn off the boards, and Thelstrom recollects for the Prowlers. Johnson spinning away from Smith. Now to Thelstrom. Rencourt touches that one in right on Gonzalez, and he'll cover up for a whistle and a face-off. We'll take another timeout. Been a long time since we've had a whistle. 5:11 to go in the opening period. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken bag, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Back here in Port Huron, still no score. 5:11 left to go in period one. Austin Federley back out there on the ice. Good to see him after he went off, little doubled over and in some pain at the end of his last shift. Scored a couple goals on Saturday, up to 7 this year. That's good for the team lead, and he's now 1 away from 200 in his FPHL career. Of course, all spent here with his hometown Prowlers. Baptiste towards the net, steered away by Nusiainen. Rivers on it on the other side. Hands off for Oakes. Federley trying to take the puck away from him. 2 number 19s battling as Oakes cycles it deep. Now Thelstrom giving Sneath no room. Johnson took the puck. And Frazee had his pass go off of Rivers. Nick McGill-Diaz, who started this season with Macon in the SPHL, 5 games for him before returning to the Rockers. This is his 5th of the year for Motor City. Johnson recollects that puck, up to Sim. Off the boards, finds Scantlebury, pulls up on Milam. The puck knocked back out of the Rockers' zone. Lockhart trying to settle things down. Heinzel, headman feed towards Rencourt. He gave it away. And now Rencourt on it again. Plays it off the near side boards. Area pass to Scantlebury. No reverse for Heinzel as Gagnon got in on the forecheck. And now Adam Heinzel to Scantleberry. 4 Rockers back. Scantleberry takes the shot, floats it wide. Not sure if that hit a body in front or not. And Rancor comes flying in. He knocks Holt's helmet off with that big hit. And George Holt has to head to the Rockers bench. Motor City has iced the puck, so Holt will have to go right back out there and put his bucket back on before he does. We'll take our final timeout. 3:24 left in period 1. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. Philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's.
Late stages first period here at McMorran Place, still searching for our first goal. Referees tonight are Steve Gowdy and Jim Scarpace. The linesman David Fleming and Brandon Badens. Port Huron looking to take a 3-0 lead in the battle of I-94. This face-off won back by Kenny Stiles, but past Lockhart. Vaughn floats it towards Heinzel. He recollects and dumps it in. Chartrand got a stick on it to deflect it to the corner. Delaney over to Milam. Quick look all the way down ice, and Nusiainen recollects it, and Brian Parsons rides Kuhn into the boards. That will draw some trouble, as Wells and Heinzel were getting into it. Now more players wrapped up behind the Prowler net. Chartrand in there as well, so is Stiles. Chartrand has the glove off of his dominant left hand, but there's a linesman in between, so he won't be able to start throwing punches. It's all started because Adam Kuhn poked at Valtteri Nusiainen's glove, and Parsons finished Kuhn into the backboards. And that drew a crowd from everybody. We'll see who goes to the box, as they were pointing over in that direction. Jamison Milam, the, again, new head coach for the Motor City Rockers, there to await the officials' word, as looks like just Chartrand and Wells. So coincidentals, we'll see if it's 5-on-5 or 4-on-4. Certainly not enough to give the 5 minutes each for fighting. We'll likely just get 2 for roughing on either side. And 3 minutes left to go in this opening period. And that's our first big hit and our first big scrum of the night. Of course, Battle of I-94. These teams do not like each other. Prowlers and the Rockers, 3rd year of their rivalry since Motor City joined the FPHL back in 2022-23. Rockers won the season series each of the first 2 years. Prowlers off to a hot start though this season. They're still talking to the off-ice officials. Austin Federley and Jamie Milam on your screen there. Chatting with Steve Gowdy, the referee. It looks like Chartrand is picking up an extra penalty, so the Prowlers will be shorthanded. After Port Huron unsuccessful on its first power play opportunity, the Rockers will get their first man advantage of the night. Rockers power play is tied 8th in the FPHL with the Athens Rock Lobsters at 18.2%. And I guess if there's one knock you can have on a very talented Rock Lobsters team, that would be their power play, which again ranks around the middle, but in the bottom half of the league. Prowlers PK, 1 for 1 on Saturday against Monroe, touching 84% this season. They are 4th in the league. Port Huron will have to kill off the 2 minutes. This penalty kill sponsored by True Balance Chiropractic. Looks like they'll kick Luke James out of this face-off. So Federley will have to take it instead. Against TJ Sneath, Rockers have Sneath, Baptiste, Rivers, Wynn, and Colton. This first power play unit, Prowlers killing with Federley, James, Heinzel, and Johnson to start off. Off the face-off, James able to send it towards the Rockers line. Milam quick up to Baptiste. He rims it around this side. Sneath gets there ahead of James. Sidesteps a hit from Heinzel, but lost his stick. Puck bouncing around, and Federley finds it on his tape and sends it all the way down ice. So it looks like Parsons and Chartrain each got 2 for roughing, and Wells got 2 for roughing. So that was the extra penalty, is that it was 2 Prowlers and 1 Rocker. Here's Mike Wynn at the point. Walking the line, Rister stopped by Nusiainen, no rebound. So this power play will take us right up until the final minute of period number 1, which has been largely dominated by the Rockers in the shot department, 12-4 for the road side right now. Face off one back by Sneath. Here's Wynn, handing off for Baptiste. Back to Wynn. Now down to Colton. Across to Baptiste, watched by Thelstrom. He gets it down low, touch pass in front, read like a book by Lockhart, but he couldn't get the clearing attempt. Baptiste tied up his stick. And finally, Federley able to send it down ice halfway through this Rockers man advantage. 1 shot on net so far on the power play for Motor City. McGill Diaz waiting for his team to complete a change. And now he steps out, gives it over to Milam. Across to Oakes. But he's offsides, and Lockhart finishes his check on the Rockers alternate captain, Cody Oakes. Oakes did captain the Blue Ridge Bobcats during part of last season before he was selected after he was selected by the Bobcats from the Rockers in the expansion draft. And then a couple of moves later, he ended up back here in Motor City in exchange for Declan Conway from Baton Rouge. And then, of course, as we know, Conway ended up in Monroe, where he scored a goal last Saturday against the Prowlers. Here's Milam rimming this one along the ice all the way around. Smith and Heinzel got there together. It's McGill Diaz in deep, taken into the wall by Heinzel. Rimmed up the boards. Pinching in to grab it was Kuhn. But Federley finds it on his stick. He just slips it past Smith at the point. Power play about to expire. And it is Parsons stepping out of the box in the final minute of period 1. McGill Diaz to Smith. Good reach by Vaughn. Smith able to get around back to McGill Diaz. Back this way it comes. Lockhart up the boards. Bounce pass finds James. Cross corner dump. Headed after by Vaughn and Wynn. Those two cancel out. McGill Diaz sent it up the wall. Thelstrom a drive. Save made by Gonzalez. Left in the corner by Scantleberry. Gagnon the only one there though. Now Holt couldn't dance past Styles. Win across to McGill Diaz in the final 13. He sends it off the glass and all the way down. That is icing against the Motor City Rockers. 8.9 seconds up on the clock here at McMorran Place. So more than I have on my screen here. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt me. But again, the clock in the arena is official. What I have up here is by no means official, as Chartrand and Wells headed back to their benches before this face-off. One back by Gagnon into the corner. He launches it off the wall again, and it goes out of play, and the clock never stopped. They'll have to put some time back on, as that clock never stopped when the puck went out of play. Right now it says .1. We'll see what they put it back to. They put 2.3 seconds up there. The Prowlers will overload the inside, federally behind Graham, but Gagnon able to win the faceoff away from Matt Graham, and that will do it for a quick opening 20 minutes. And now a battle in front of the net as Johnson shoved to the ice by McGill Diaz right in the blue paint. So we'll have to clean that one up before the teams are separated and head off the ice for the intermission report. Parsons getting into it with Holt. Little shouting match going on over there as well. Everybody's separated, and we'll head to the Moses Roses smoke break without any more issue, with the Prowlers and the Rockers still searching for the first goal in tonight's game. Shots in that opening period favored Motor City 12-5. Well, coming up in this first intermission report, the Moses Roses smoke break, we will chat about a quick opening 20 minutes. Not too many whistles, plenty of action up and down. Both teams getting their opportunities, but the goaltenders, Ricky Gonzalez and Valtteri Nusiainen, perfect. And we head to the locker rooms again after the first period of play. Well, the Prowlers are celebrating 10 years in Port Huron, and you can celebrate yourself with some limited edition 10th anniversary gear at the Prowlers team store. Come find us on the west end of McMorran Arena at every home game or online anytime at prowlersmerch.com. You can scan the QR code on your screen now to visit the online shop. Look your POHO best with gear from the Prowlers team store. It is no score through 20 minutes here tonight. Prowlers and Rockers in the third installment of the Battle of I-90 for this season. We'll step aside here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Welcome back here to McMorran Place. It is the night before Thanksgiving here in the United States, and the Prowlers and Rockers still searching to put something in the cornucopias behind the netminders tonight. Still no score through the first 20 minutes of play, as both teams with a power play, unsuccessful though on the man advantage. Both teams searching for some life, searching for a win, as they've had struggles as of late. And we talked about the Prowlers earlier. They have lost their last three, all three on the road in Louisiana. Prowlers are still searching for their first victory outside of the state of Michigan. Their only road win this season came at Big Boy Arena down in Fraser. Prowlers will be back on the road next weekend in Binghamton. But Port Huron is 4-1-0 here at home and 1-5-2 on the road this year. Meanwhile, the Motor City Rockers, quite the opposite. All three of their wins have come away from home, and they are 0-4 at home this season. They've lost 6 of 7 games. The Battle of I-94 with not quite as much bite, at least in these standings, as it's had the last couple of years. But this is the first of a 3 games in 4 night stretch for the Prowlers here at McMorran Place, as part of a 6 games in 10 night stretch for the Prowlers that was started last weekend when they were in Louisiana. They're 0-2-1 so far on that stretch after the rough road trip. But this is one of those weird midweek one-off games. Not the only one the Prowlers will play this season, and not the only one they'll play this season against the Motor City Rockers. They'll also play a New Year's Eve game, 3:05 p.m. down in Fraser. So it will be another interesting one there. But hey, at least for the Prowlers, they don't have to spend New Year's Eve on a bus this season, because they don't have to travel down to Mississippi for a game in the early days of 2025 like they did the last 2 years. But again, turning our attention back to the game at hand right now, and we'll give you a look at the stats so far for this game. Rockers controlling the shots battle 12-5. Both teams 0-for-1 on the power play, and neither team able to didn't find the back of the net. But we did get a couple of penalties. Things heated up there near the end of the period. It started with 3 minutes left, with Parsons finishing his check on Adam Kuhn, who poked at Valtteri Nusiainen after Nusiainen had covered the puck. Now, Parsons didn't like that. He finished his check on Kuhn, and that drew a large crowd behind the Port Huron net. And at the end of the day, it ended up with a Rockers power play that the Prowlers were able to successfully kill off. And again, the Rockers, who were so good in special teams these last couple of years, especially their power play, is really one of their bread and butters, and that was helped so much by the presences of Scott Kowash and Declan Conway, both of whom are now with the Monroe Moccasins, and they were huge parts of those power plays. It's struggled so far this year, and on both ends, the special teams, power play and penalty kill. As I mentioned, the power play tied for 8th in the league, penalty kill 9th in the league for the Motor City Rockers, and it was such a huge part of their offense, and that's a big part of the reason why they're struggling this year, as they're scoring fewer than 3 goals per game so far this year. Well, the Prowlers are also struggling offensively this year, as they're scoring also under 3 goals a game this season. But the big difference between the Prowlers and the Rockers in that regard is the Prowlers are also giving up fewer than 3 goals a game this season. Rockers are giving up more than 4.5 goals per game this year. So you can still win games if you're not scoring too much, if you can also not give up too many goals. And a big part of that was what Matt Graham talked about earlier this week when Prowlers signed Reed Cooper, is you have goaltenders that can steal games. Valtteri Nusiainen has certainly stolen a few games for the Prowlers this season, and the hope is that Reed Cooper can do the same for Port Huron when he gets in between the pipes tonight. Or not tonight, but again, supposedly later this week for the Prowlers. Again, he's expected to play at least one of the games this weekend. I expect the Prowlers to split Nusiainen and Cooper this weekend when they host the Danbury Hat Tricks. But we have much more coming up here on the pregame, or on the intermission report, the first Moses Roses smoke break of the evening. So keep it here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Back here at McMorran Place, first intermission wrapping up as the Zamboni is on the ice. Prowlers and the Rockers in their locker room still chatting about those first 20 minutes and likely how to find themselves a goal here in the middle 20. But before we continue talking about this game here tonight, let's look around the league. We start with some storylines from this week around the FPHL. And we'll start with Ocean Weisblatt, who moved around a couple of times this week in a couple of trades. He started by going from Athens to Monroe in exchange for future considerations. That was back on Monday, and then yesterday moved on to the Dashers for future considerations as well. He's played 6 games so far with the Rock Lobsters. No points yet. Again, Ocean Weisblatt, not Orca Weisblatt. Important distinction. Orca still with the Rock Lobsters. Corey Cunningham sent to Monroe. Speaking of the Moccasins involved in trades, as that completes the trade from last week that sent Noah Robinson and Charlie Bedard from Monroe to Danbury. So Cunningham this season, 6 points in 7 games for the Hat-Tricks, 42 points, 23 goals last year in 35 games as a rookie for Danbury. Certainly a strong scoring punch added to the Moccasins lineup, but they did have to give up a lot. Noah Robinson, a very good forward, and Charlie Bedard, a solid defenseman. But the Moccasins feel that Cunningham will add to their lineup. Finally, today, the Columbus River Dragons put Josh Petrantonio and Justin McDonald as inactive, while they get Ryan Hunter back, as Hunter started his season in the SPHL. So they add a little bit, and then they lose a little bit as well. There's certainly McDonald and Petrantonio big parts of that Columbus River Dragons team. Continuing on around the league, we take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. So we start with a good one in Binghamton. It's 3-2 Black Bears, as they have just dropped the puck in period number 3. Caden Henry in his first game back from IR, 2 goals and an assist for the Black Bears. Vadim Frolov and Chase Harwell have the goals for Danbury. Again, that one just getting going in period number 3. 1 period down in Columbus, Zydeco and Dragons tied up at 1 apiece. Kevin Zabad has the goal for the Zydeco, and Alexander Jemayev for the Dragons. Again, 1-1 through 20 minutes there, and dropping the puck in just a few minutes in Biloxi. It's the Moccasins and the Seawolves. It will be Samuel Best going for Mississippi, and Marcus Ekholm-Rosen for Monroe in between the pipes. And those are the only 3 other games going on this Wednesday. FPHL will have a full slate on Friday, and of course that includes us here at McMorran Place as the Prowlers host the Danbury Hat-Tricks, and that's something for you to do after your Thanksgiving, whether the family is still sticking around and you want to bring them here, have an activity for the in-laws to do while they're still in town, bring them down here to McMorran Place, or if you're looking to get away from the in-laws and you've had too much family time this week, bring yourself to McMorran Place and spend some time with us. Prowlers hosting the Hat-Tricks on Friday and Saturday, as both teams are hopefully getting set to hit the ice here in just a couple of minutes, as the get set for period number 2. And as I did last weekend, had a trivia question that was a little bit different, not quite about hockey. Tried to switch things up a bit for maybe the non-sports fanatics who are tuning in. We'll do it again. How about some Thanksgiving trivia for your Thanksgiving weekend, as we take a look at our PHP Network trivia question, with tomorrow being Thanksgiving here in the United States. Of course, Port Huron is just steps away from Canada. Well, steps or a few swimming strokes if you decide to jump into the St. Clair River and swim across. But again, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and with Canada being so close and a lot of Canadians on both the Prowlers and the Rockers and around the league, we want to know if you know when Canadian Thanksgiving was this season. So put your guess in the comments section, and Canadians watching the stream, come on, let the Americans guess. We know you know when it was, but let the Americans guess. I want to see if they know. Again, put your guess in the comments section, and we'll have the correct answer coming up at the start of period number 3. You see Ricky Gonzalez there getting his crease set down to our right. Gonzalez with 5 saves on 5 Prowlers shots in that opening 20 minutes of play. Meanwhile, Valtteri Nusiainen just led his team back out onto the ice. He made 12 saves on 12 Motor City Rocker shots. We'll see if we can find some offense here in the middle 20 minutes. As the team switch ends, looks like we'll have the same starting centers for period 2 as we had for period 1. Avery Smith and Kenny Stiles. They'll drop the puck between them. Steve Gowdy, the referee, set to do the honors. As we get set for the Hungry Howie's second period here on the PHP Network. And we are underway. Wells came in, and he got it into Prowler territory, took a shoulder from Heinzel, came out in front, and Vaughn able to rescue it from the high slot. It's fed over to Stiles. He gets the red line, bounces it in, win first on it there. Came around to the far side, Wells just did get it out as that puck bounced over top of Heinzel's stick. And then that pass up to Stiles was out of his reach, so an icing called against the Port Huron Prowlers just 30 seconds into period number 2. In case you're just joining us, 1 power play for each team in the opening 20 minutes. A little bit of rough stuff as well, but nothing yet behind Ricky Gonzalez or Valtteri Nusiainen. Tied up there at the dot and moved up towards the blue line, but Chartrand jumps on it there. Floats it on towards Vaughn. Stops up on the half wall, taken in by Oakes. Vaughn able to work out. And he cycles it around towards Chartrand. Has Graham fresh off the bench, gets it to him. To the point, Johnson quickly across to Thelstrom. Touch pass is for Federley. All the way around the net. Out high again, it's Johnson. Federley drop for Alex Johnson. His shot just slipped wide. I think that may have caught something in front. Thelstrom back to the net, stopped by Gonzalez. That's played off the glass. Thelstrom keeps it alive. Here's Graham, delayed penalty coming up against the Rockers. Nusiainen to the bench. Johnson working it to Graham. And now Thelstrom to Scantleberry. One-timer gloved by Ricky Gonzalez as Scantleberry came right off the bench on the delayed penalty. But Port Huron will go to its second man advantage of the game. High stick is being signaled against TJ Sneak. So see if the Port Huron man advantage can come through this time. They'll send out the second unit, Frazee, Chartrand, Scantleberry, Vaughn, and Thelstrom. As Frazee draws with Sam Gagnon, and they get back to Thelstrom. Floated to Vaughn, walks in, shot, kick save, rebound, score! First in a Prowlers uniform for Joel Frazee. 7 seconds into the man advantage, and the Prowlers are on the board first tonight. The shot from Vaughn produced a rebound, and Joel Frazee with his second goal of the season and first as a Prowler, right on the spot in the high slot to put it home. Prowlers power play coming through, and just like that, early second period, we have our first goal. Petcheritson up to Federley, on to Frazee. Cross corner dump, Graham first on it, comes back to the line to Parsons, walks, thought about the shot, gave to Petcheritson, he takes it, it's blocked by Holt. Out high, Parsons, wrister, stopped by Gonzalez, punched at it with the blocker. They give Vaughn the only assist. Should have Ludwig Thelstrom on a helper as well, as that one ends up in the Prowler bench. we'll see if they fix that as this game moves along. Face off just outside of Prowler territory. Scantlebury tied up with Wells. Scantlebury won that battle. Wynn overtakes the puck. Here's Kuhn. Fires it off the far boards. Area pass gets to Wells. But Heinzel able to stymie him. Tristan Wells joined the Motor City Rockers a couple of weeks ago. As we have a penalty coming up. Hooking is the signal. It will go against Wells. So that's perfect. Wells joined the Rockers for their trip to Hudson Valley. And in his first game on November the 15th, he scored a natural hat trick, but only has 1 assist in the 3 games since. Now the Prowlers power play right back to work. And they'll send that same unit right back out there. Now hooking the call against Wells, 3rd man advantage of the night for Port Huron. But they won't get a quick one this time as it's cleared down ice by Rivers. 1 for 2 on the man advantage. Oh, the Prowlers as Vaughn whiffed on a pass. Here comes Rivers short-handed. Vaughn takes the puck back. There's Scantlebury working on Wynn. He's stopped there by Mike Wynn. Frazee kept it in on the far side. And he hands off for Thelstrom. Thelstrom to the net. And he just able to slide it there softly as Colton was stick checking him. Gonzalez covered up for a whistle and a face-off. Thelstrom scored his first goal as a Prowler last time Port Huron was in this building 2 Saturdays ago against the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Big tying goal. And on the wrong end of that result, a Prowlers win, were Tristan Sim and Joel Frazee, who were Bobcats at that point. Oakes turns that one, fired it off of Federley, but does get out of the zone. 45 seconds gone in this Prowlers power play. Federley weaves his way through center, gets into the offensive zone, dumps it around along the dasher, comes all the way for Lockhart at the point. He had trouble with it, and here's Avery Smith on a short-handed breakaway, slows down, save made by Nusiainen. Avery Smith tried to go back to his forehand, and Nusiainen stayed right with him. Another breakaway save for Valtteri Nusiainen, keeping the Prowlers ahead this time. 55 seconds left to go on their power play. Prowlers switch the unit back up for this defensive zone face-off on the man advantage. Frazee able to win the drawback. And it's Thelstrom stepping out and feeding it to Scantlebury. Works in with speed, slows up. Now Thelstrom as the Prowlers set up. Frazee right in front of the net. Scantlebury shot, kick save, and Frazee had his stick lifted. Now Thelstrom a drive, and Gonzalez stretched all the way out to try and make a save. The puck whistled wide. But he certainly wasn't completely ready for that one to come right back on net. Here is Thelstrom. Has some skating space. He'll work in, dangles through. Tried to drop it to the point to Chartrand. He gave it right away to Gagnon. And Gagnon shouldered by Vaughn. And an elbowing call coming against Jake Vaughn. And I think that's just a Jake Vaughn is way too tall penalty. An unfortunate one for him, but it negates the final 10 seconds of this Prowlers power play. Well, of course, Jake Vaughn is 6'5". Sam Gagnon listed at 5'7". That's a 10-inch difference. So tough call for Jake Vaughn as he was just trying to muscle Gagnon off the puck. Well, 4-on-4 for 10 seconds and then a minute 50 of Rockers power play time. I mean, Jake Vaughn's elbow is probably up to Sam Gagnon's face. Josh Colton goes back behind his own net as his team's power play starts. It's Wynn right back to Colton. Now to Sneath. Trying to make a pass. That was blocked away by James and cleared down by Sim. Prowlers get a couple of changes on the kill. Here's Colton. Had his stick lifted by James. There's a collision away from the play as Gonzalez made it save. And now Wells and Heinzel have dropped the mitts. Wells has his jersey over his face, getting a couple of punches in. Heinzel gets a much taller Tristan Wells, able to topple him. That's Austin Federley down on the ice as he collided with Tristan Wells away from the puck. And you talk about a size difference. Wells and Heinzel still with words for each other, but Wells standing at 6'6", and Austin Federley at 5'6". That's a full foot difference. I didn't quite see it. I was like, oh, Federley was going backwards, and Wells got him maybe with an elbow or something up high. That looked like to the head. They're sending Wells to the box. I don't know if there's more there. And Wells and Heinzel very animated, still yelling at each other in the penalty boxes. We'll see if the referees give Tristan Wells something, because I certainly think there is some merit to give Wells more than the 5 for fighting. We'll take a break here. Hopefully they'll recognize that this is a media timeout in a moment. But we will take a break as Austin Federley is headed back to the Prowlers bench under his own power. 14:56 to go here in period 2.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
A Big Mac.
chicken Big Mac?
Chicken bag, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Live where you work. Work where you play. Is your work commute making you miserable? Quit the commute. Explore hot jobs in St. Clair County paying $40,000 to $100,000 or more. Visit stclairhotjobs.com. Spend more time doing what you love. If you're not currently living in St. Clair County, or you know friends or family that moved away but are ready to come back, then visit stclairhotjobs.com to find a new job and make the move.
Back here at McMorran Place, they've put 2 minutes up on the board on the guest side. So that would be for Tristan Wells. They've also just now realized that this is a media timeout, so I'll have to talk through the rest of it. As Steve Gowdy is chatting with Alex Johnson, Prowlers assistant coach, and Jamison Milam, the Rockers head coach. Milam did hire himself some help to help run the bench, Zach Zolkanich, who was hired November the 13th, a week after Milam was officially promoted to head coach of the Motor City Rockers. Zolkanich, former Rocker and former Prowler, getting his first coaching gig in the FPHL. But right now it looks like 4-on-4 for the next minute 24, and then a brief Prowlers power play. Nothing more right now. Again, then they get 2 minutes. Nothing has come down yet on my penalty sheet, but I can tell you for sure, Wells and Heinzel, 5 each for fighting. As James Kakos heads to the box to serve the 2 for Wells. So we'll have Stiles, Chartrand, Felstrom, and Johnson to begin 4-on-4 for the Prowlers. It's Wynn, Rivers, Sneath, and Colton to begin it for Motor City. As Johnson pinches in to get that puck that was rimmed around. He's tied up with Wynn, and Sneath able to pull it out, sent it on to Rivers. Stiles poked it off his stick. Slipped up to Styles at the Rocker blue line. Poked away by Wynn. Puck ends up on Sneak's tape in the near side corner. And now Colton settling things down. So they gave Wynn 2 minutes for interference on the play. Again, Austin Federle back on the Prowlers bench after he got looked at by Prowlers trainer Bridget Smith. Lockhart slowing things down behind his own net. Now he'll work up. Over to Parsons. Across, Scantleberry with some space, and he rose it too tall, looking to pick that corner over Gonzalez's blocker. 14:02 left to go in period 2. 30 seconds left in the 4-on-4, and then it will be a Prowlers power play for 36 seconds. Again, barring any more penalties, because feels like sometimes once these things start, we get on a little bit of a roll and it will be penalty after penalty after penalty. Let's hope we don't get like that. Gagnon wins this face-off away from Frazee. Milam up to McGill Diaz. Working on Parsons, stops up and had it taken away by Frazee. Out comes Scantleberry with the puck as Frazee going to the net. Scantleberry to the trailer. Lockhart shoots. That one ends up in the protective netting over the glass, out of play. Not sure if a Rocker got his stick on that try or not. Vaughn standing up, getting set to come out of the penalty box. The rest of his power play unit is stepping out onto the ice, at least right now. Hellstrom comes out to join Graham, Federle, and Johnson. Good to see Austin Federle back out there. Again, he's had a rough game so far. This one sent all the way down. Icing waved off. As Federle with again a brief Prowler power play. Now 25 seconds on it. Graham into the offensive zone. Drop for Federle. Over to Lockhart. Johnson, one-timer, didn't get all of it. It scares harmlessly off the corner boards. Sim to Lockhart. Johnson again, wrister. That one went high. Now Graham in front, Sim! Swung and missed at it, and it's cleared down ice by the Rockers. The Prowlers unsuccessful on their 4th power play of the night. Again, that one very brief. 4th power play of the game. We're back to 5-on-5. Parsons tried to backhand it out. Ends up on Wynn's tape. Now Colton has a touch to Rivers. Dances around Lockhart on the backhand. And he rows it over top of the cage. Rancourt picks it up on the other side. He couldn't get it out. His former Plymouth State teammate Lockhart could. He lost the handle on a toe drag. Scantleberry for Parsons. Looking towards Rancourt. Baptiste intercepts. Baptiste rimmed around towards Rotundi. Backhand up to the point. Wynn. He couldn't keep it in as that puck bounced on him just slightly. Rotundi looks to turn it back in, but they blow it dead, maybe offsides against the Rockers. Just under 8 minutes gone here in the Hungry Howie's second period. Only goal of the period, only goal of the game, belonging to Joel Frazee, his first as a Port Huron Prowler. Frazee had an assist the last time he was in this building 2 weeks ago as the Rockers iced this puck. When he was part of the Blue Ridge Bobcats, he had an assist in that series against the Prowlers. So I guess his McMorran Place point streak is up to 2 games, but just with different teams. Gagnon and Luke James in for this face-off. Milam had his pocket picked by Chartrand. Rockers try and go up the near side boards instead, and they ice the puck once again. Rotundi took a hard hit afterwards, and it looks like Port Huron is getting a penalty. A charge assessed to Luke James, so the Prowlers back to the PK for the 3rd time in this game. Luke James playing the role of the extra forward tonight. We're spending most of this season so far as a third-line center and a penalty killer. He'll have to sit. The Rockers with a chance to tie things up on the man advantage as Sink wins it back clean. Wynn sets things up over to Colton. Wynn back at the top. Watched by Sim. Over to Colton again. Now Sneath. Wrister blocked by Federley. Out high, it's Wynn. Bobbled it, but did keep it alive. Now to Colton. Puck on edge. He sells it down flat. Colton walking across. That one touched towards the cage by Baptiste and just went wide. Baptiste pulls it out of the pile. All the way around the net. Out towards Colton. Picks it up off the boards. Now for Wynn. Colton again. Down towards Sneath. Good stick by Sim to get in the way. Now Sneath dropping it off. Here's Rivers towards the back door. That one off a body. Puck loose behind the Prowler net. Taken by Baptiste. Up high it goes to Colton again. Halfway through this Rocker power play. Another penalty coming up against the Prowlers. Great save by Nusiainen. But a tripping call against Port Huron will make it a 5-on-3 for 54 seconds. Ryan Parsons, the guilty party. So 10:36 left to go in the middle period. Great opportunity for the Motor City Rockers. With a lengthy 5-on-3, and Valtteri Nusiainen with another 10-bell save right before that whistle. He reached back with the glove. Chartrand wins this face-off clean, and the Prowlers get their first clear of the power play. Quickly up is McGill Diaz. Has help going to the net. He stops up on the boards, harassed by Matt Graham. Now Milam able to get it down to Avery Smith before it's knocked off his stick. Johnson had two Rockers on him. Chartrand took the puck off the window and down to Gonzalez. 25 seconds left in the 5-on-3. McGill Diaz rims this one all the way around. Gagnon first on it on the other side. Back down deep, got through Smith, and another clear for the Prowlers and Daniel Chartrand. Final seconds ticking off of Luke James's penalty. He'll likely just hop on and join the kill. So minute 5 left of 5-on-4 time as Colton wraps this one around. Sneath up to Milam, gives it back. TJ Sneath down low looking for Baptiste at the side of the cage, and he just missed. Colton walks the line, still looking, and another shot pass deflected wide. This time it was Rivers on the receiving end. Prowlers clear once more. 33 seconds left in their man advantage. Sim with a steal at center, and he bumps it back to Motor City ice. Rivers, left wing side, trying to pass to the middle of the ice. Another intercept and another Prowler clear. This has been a great penalty kill for Port Huron. Not one shot on the 5-on-3. Final seconds ticking off the 5-on-4 as Wynn all the way around the net. Lost it, and the Prowlers PK 4 for 4 tonight. They try and pull it off the wall. Sim able to do so. Tried to slip it to Frazee. Was bounced back by the Rockers. Here's McGill Diaz with a shot. Blocked by Petroditsin. Up out of play. 8:17 left to go in period 2. Port Huron's PK coming up large. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
See that? That's what 100% mozzarella looks like. What Dough Made Daily looks like. what fresh ingredients and 8 irresistible flavored crusts on pizza cooked to perfection looks like. It's so much flavor, we don't even know if it's legal to have this much flavor. Now you can get that famous flavor for only $8.99. Wait, a large one-topping pizza for $8.99? That's a deal. It's a steal. No, it's a crime. Just $8.99 for a one-topping pizza full of our famous flavor. Now that's how we do a deal.
Hungry?
Howie's!
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Back here at McMorran Place, 1-0 Prowlers with 8:17 left to go in the Hungry Howie's second period. Prowlers up on shots in this frame 9-1 despite 3-man advantages for the Motor City Rockers. They only have 1 shot combined on those 3 power plays, and it was the backdoor one-timer by Eli Rivers that was stopped by Valtteri Nusiainen during the delayed Brian Parsons penalty, but no shots on goal for the Rockers during the 5-on-3. This one comes all the way through for Scantleberry. Has a man going to the net. It's Stiles, sent it there, and it's steered to the boards by Gonzalez. Delstrom slid it up to Scantleberry. Has Stiles going to the cage again. This time Scantleberry elects to go around. Knocked to the ice by McGill Diaz. Vaughn came in to help out. And the puck just does escape the zone before it's tossed back in by Thelstrom. Oakes. Watched by Scantleberry. Now he'll head off for a change as the Prowlers getting fresh bodies on the ice. McGill Diaz fumbled with it. Sent a bouncing pass all the way across. Gagnon unable to bring it in and dump it around. Heinzel. He steps out. Over to Federley. Slid it through towards Freezy. Graham picks it up on the other side, looking for Freezy, but Oakes got in the way. Milam. Quick up towards Kuhn. Shoved off by Adam Heinzel. Puck sits there right at the blue line. I think it was stuck up in somebody's equipment. Now it drops and Freezy works up. Plenty of Rockers back as Milam gives a shove to Joel Frazee, who's trying to dance his way through. Kuhn's pass on the take of Avery Smith, surrounded by red jerseys. Outside try, fought off by Nusiainen. Rebound came all the way to Milam. Rivers, outside save again by Nusiainen. Collected by Rencourt. And Delaney just couldn't keep that one in at the line. Milam soft toss in. Lockhart out for Sim. To Chartrand, has Rencourt moving up with him. Chartrand into the zone. Sent it Rencourt's direction, but that went off a stick. Jeremy Rencourt down to Chartrand. And now Rencourt pulls it out. Rencourt out high. Thelstrom wrister gloved by Ricky Gonzalez. I heard some noose chants coming down from the crowd here at McMorran Place after Nusiainen made that save. As Tristan Wells now out of the box. He had to serve 7 minutes as opposed to Adam Heinzel's 5 because Wells picked up the 5 minutes for fighting and the 2 for interference. So that's why Wells was still in the box and Heinzel was not. Stiles and Sneath in for this face-off. Comes to the boards. Scantleberry turning, cycles it for Vaughn. Has some space, takes the shot, saved by Gonzalez. The rebound popped out to Petronitsin at the point. Now Stiles held up along the wall. Scantleberry makes a nice move. Scantleberry in front, saved by Gonzalez as Scantleberry stick-handled his way out of a tight spot in the corner. This puck bounces out to center. Petroditsin off the boards. Styles quickly back in. Kenny Styles tried to toss it to the slot. Instead, it's taken away. And Baptiste trying to slip past Petroditsin. Sneath just fired a blind pass in front, came back to him. And this pass had his head up, but he hit Petroditsin. Petroditsin and Baptiste battling for it. It's kicked deeper into the corner. Now back behind the net, Styles there. And he lost his stick, but he was able to move it to Vaughn. Now Vaughn take it in. Baptiste pulls up. Good poke by Styles to take it off his stick. Now it ends up at the point. Wind to the net, blocked by Vaughn. Parsons has to scoop up his stick away from the play. Meanwhile, Rockers trying to cycle. It's Gagnon behind the cage, spinning away from Petroditsin. Out high Colton. That shot blocked by Tucker Skittleberry. And he soft tosses it in. Win first on it there. Port Huron making a wholesale change. Played over to the near side, off the boards. Rotundi gave it to Gagnon. He wraps it around. Johnson leaves it there. Frazee up the boards. Federally pass behind Graham. And Rotundi with a turnaround drive, handled by Valtteri Nusiainen. 4:06 left to go in period 2. We'll take a break. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
Explore the 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron. That is Michigan's Thumb Coast. Discover charming coastal towns, serene beaches, and endless outdoor adventures. Stay at cozy hotels, paddle through pristine blue waters, and hit the fairways along breathtaking views. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Late stages here in the second period. Prowlers with a 1-0 lead on the Motor City Rockers. And again, up on shots big in this second period. It was 12-5 Rockers through the first 20 minutes of play in shots on goal. Prowlers responding, up 13-4 in shots on net here in period 2. And they've been able to break the ice. Only shot past the netminder belonging to Joel Frazee. Graham and Smith in on this space, so up to Valtteri Nusiainen's left. Graham giving some last-minute directions. They tie up, and it slides back to Thelstrom, who goes behind his own net and has to work away from Wells. Up towards Frazee, he tips it in. McGill Diaz kicks it to his stick. Now looking for Smith. In the direction of Wells, that hit a body on the way through. Prowlers on the counter. It's sent up to Frazee. Quick shot off of Oak's stick and out of play, the former Blue Ridge Bobcats teammates from last season. The Prowlers will get an offensive zone face-off now. They send out the line with Chartrand and Rancourt on the wings. Luke James will get a shot at center on this shift. Sneath will take it against James. Chartrand out to Thelstrom. Down and around it goes. Got through James. Now Rancourt finishes his check as the puck is cleared to neutral ice. Thelstrom wraps it around. Popped out by Rivers. He has Baptiste in stride right up the middle. Oakes tried to send it back across. Chartrand able to glove it down in the slot as the puck went about 20 feet up in the air. Prowlers can't get out of the zone though. Good play by Chartrand. Chop it off of Sneath's stick. Now Sneath trying to bank it off of Nusiainen. Couldn't do it. And Luke James starts it out for Rencourt. Oak stopped him up there. Right back in he comes, centered in front. And Thelstrom, the only one there at the top of the blue paint, kicked off his skate. And luckily for the Prowlers, wide. Chartrand, rink-wide feed looking towards Rencourt. That was blocked up by Kekos. Johnson, this time he has Chartrand. 4 Rockers back, so Chartrand dumps and changes. McGill Diaz. Tripped up by Scantlebury, but he got the puck first, so no call. Milam dumps it in, delayed offsides against the Rockers. Lockhart has some time. He'll go up to Scantlebury. Cross corner dump. Styles first there. One-handed it to Vaughn. All the way around the cage, harassed by Smith. Big Jake Vaughn turns the corner, tried to send it on net, couldn't get through all the bodies. Styles recollects. Over to the near side, Scantlebury grabs it there. Up high, Lockhart. Back down and around, Scantlebury to Vaughn. Cycling it for Lockhart, the defenseman in deep. Sauce for Scantlebury in front looking for Styles. That went off a stick and too high. Heinzel swung and missed at that bouncing puck, so did a couple of Rockers. Heinzel and Wells come together in the corner. They get it behind the net to Lockhart. Scantlebury over to Vaughn. Tried the return feed. Scantlebury had his head down looking towards the net. Now the Rockers dangle in, but Rivers couldn't pick it up on the other side. Now Austin Federley on the counter. Has Graham with him. Federley to Freezy fresh off the bench. Oh, and they'll call the Prowlers for too many men. That was close. Oh no, interference, pardon me. Brian Parsons getting called for interference. I thought it was too many men. I thought the Prowlers timed it perfectly. They did time it perfectly as Frazee was stepping off the bench because the call was away from the play. Brian Parsons back to the penalty box. 5th man advantage of the night for the Motor City Rockers with 65 seconds to go here in period number 2. If Motor City doesn't score, this power play will leak over to the 3rd. Another opportunity for the Rockers to get on the board. They've had a lot of window dressing and passing around, but not too much going to the net, and Chartrand breaks up a pass. He's off, trying for a shorthanded break, stops up and slides it across. Federley picks it up off the boards. He just tosses it on net. Gonzalez forced to clutch it to his chest. Chartrand dragged to the ice by Wynn. And they're separated by the linesman. 43.6 seconds left to go in this period. As Federley gave a nice toss to the cage and gave Gonzalez enough trouble that he wouldn't be able to just catch it and move it. He had to hold on to that one. So an offensive zone faceoff shorthanded for the Prowlers. And really, when you have a penalty that late in a period, you're really killing off 2 half penalties instead of 1 full one. Prowlers trying to play that time game like that, and right off the draw, Lockhart kills some more clock for firing it down ice. 35 to go in the period. Colton starts it up for Baptiste. He lost the handle momentarily. Now he has it back. Baptiste all the way around as he was stepped into by Lockhart. Wynn over to Colton. He walks the line, shadowed by James. Wynn, wrister blocked by Tristan Sim. Now Wynn again, down low, couldn't find a friendly stick. Colton in front, saved by Nuciani. He looked behind him, but he has it. And with 1 second on the clock, looks like the Prowlers will get out of the period. Big block from Tristan Sim. And as Colton put it in front in the final seconds, Nuciainen squeezed the pads together. TJ Sneath got his stick on it. Got 1 second here up on the clock. Matt Graham to take the draw against Eli Rivers. Everybody loaded up inside. And they drop it, and that will do it for period number 2. Joel Frazee, power play goal for the Prowlers. The only tally of that middle frame, and Port Huron heads to the locker room with a 1-goal lead going into the third period. If you were around for the games last weekend in Louisiana, Prowlers blew 1-goal third period leads multiple times against the Zydeco and Moccasins. So we'll see if they'll be able to hang on to one here at home against the Motor City Rockers. 54 seconds of power play time is scheduled for Motor City before period number 3 gets underway. Shots on goal in that middle frame, favoring the Port Huron Prowlers 14-5, and they're up for the game right now, 19-17. As the Rockers held off the scoreboard for the first 40 minutes of play here tonight, thanks to some spectacular saves from Valtteri Nusiainen and a number of blocked shots from his skaters out in front of him, including Tristan Sim, again right there at the very end in those final seconds before Nusiainen had to make one last save. Well, secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game on Friday, November the 29th, 2 days from now, as they host the Danbury Hat Tricks with puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 7:05 p.m. Tickets are available online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or scan the QR code on your screen now to be part of the Prowlers' 10th anniversary season. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, you can either bring the in-laws or you can avoid the in-laws here at McMorran Place. We do it all as the Prowlers face the Hat Tricks for a 2-game set this weekend. You can even get yourself out of some dishes as well after Thanksgiving by coming here on Friday night. Prowlers and Rockers in the locker rooms getting set for period number 3. We'll step aside right here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Seriously, not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Back here at McMorran Place, they're cleaning up the Chuck-a-Pucks, and the Prowlers have a 1-0 lead after 40 minutes of play. And the third installment of the Battle of I-94. And that was a much better period for the Port Huron Prowlers, especially on the shot board. They dominated in that area after getting dominated in that area in the opening 20 minutes. They outshot the Rockers 14-5 in that middle 20, and they found the first goal, and it was their power play that got things going. Power play was a huge part of the game last Friday against the Baton Rouge Zydeco. Took them from behind to in front. Of course, the Prowlers did end up losing that game, but it was, again, the power play that got them back into it. And tonight, the power play strikes again Joel Frazee with his first as a Port Huron Prowler, assisted by Jake Vaughn and Ludwig Thelstrom. That's Vaughn's first assist of the season. And for Thelstrom, he picks up assist number 4 on the year. Overall for Frazee, that is his second goal in game number 11 this season, split between the Prowlers and the Blue Ridge Bobcats. The Prowlers jockeying for position in the Empire Division standings, and this is a big game to have. Keeps the Rockers down where they are right now, kind of in that bottom tier of the division standings, but it also will create a little bit of separation between them and the Danbury Hat-Tricks, who are in action right now, or who are in action tonight, as well as the Hudson Valley Venom, who are not in action tonight, but both of them holding games in hand on the Prowlers. And I know it is November. It's a little bit early to talk about games in hand and playoff clinching scenarios, but it's still something you keep an eye on, because as this season rolls along, every team will play 56 games, and the Hat-Tricks and Venom will play on nights that the Prowlers are not playing, and they'll have opportunities to pick up points on Port Huron. So the Prowlers want to certainly stay in that valuable third spot in the division, because, again, if the playoffs go the way that I am told they will go, it will be 4 and 5 playing a one-game play-in game for the right to play the top team in each division in the first round. So that in and of itself adds a whole other element, that play-in game. And of course, anything can happen in a one-game play-in. The Prowlers hoping to avoid that and just get themselves in that third spot and just the automatic playoff qualifier. But again, tonight, Prowlers have gotten some good goaltending, and Matt Graham has talked about, well, Terry Nusiainen being a guy who can steal games, and they're hoping that Reed Cooper can be a guy who can steal games for them and help out an offense that has struggled at times this year, struggled a lot of times this year. In fact, the Prowlers have scored 2 or fewer goals in 7 of their first 13 games this year. It's been an anemic offense so far this year. They're hoping that the goaltenders can do that work while they're figuring things out. They decided that Reed Cooper, that when he became available, that he was a great opportunity to add to their goaltending room, and unfortunately that meant there had to be an odd man out, and it seemed that Yoshihiro Kuriowa was a lot happier being part of the room, being and more okay with being a third-string goaltender than Makar Sokolov was. So Sokolov, the odd man out, as he hopes he can find another job in this league, although, again, at the time of his release, Makar Sokolov was last among qualified goaltenders in the FPHL in the save percentage category. But again, he has had some hot starts in very short sample sizes at the end of last year, so they have seen it around the league, and we'll see if he does get picked up. But once again, Prowlers running with now Nusiainen, Cooper, and Yoshi as their 3 goaltenders right now. Nusiainen is the one between the pipes tonight. As we take a look at the stats so far, he has made 17 saves on 17 Rockers shots so far. He's held the Motor City power play off the board. Rockers will have 54 seconds of power play time when the third period commences, as the Prowlers were able to kill off the first minute and 6 of that man advantage. But then Port Huron will be back to 5-on-5, hopefully, and they'll try and pick up some more goals and get this home crowd back into it. Nice sizable crowd here tonight at McMorran Place for your pre-Thanksgiving festivities. One last game before the Thanksgiving tomorrow, then 2 more, as we have 3 home games in 4 nights for the Prowlers. We'll take a look at all of that coming up on the upcoming schedule later on in this intermission report. Things did get a little rough at times in that middle period, as teams were battling in front, players battling in front after whistles. We saw some penalties as things ramped up a little bit in that department as well. But as of right now, it is a 1-0 lead for the Port Huron Prowlers. We'll take a quick break, and we will be right back with more intermission coverage right here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Back here at McMorran Place, wrapping up the second intermission. Prowlers with a 1-0 lead over the Motor City Rockers. But before we continue talking about this game, let's take a look ahead in the schedule for the Port Huron Prowlers. As this is, as I've mentioned, the first of 3 games in 4 nights here at McMorran Place for the Prowlers, as they are taking on the Motor City Rockers. Those times for the Danbury games are incorrect. They are supposed to be 7:05 start, so apologies for that. But again, tonight against the Rockers, and then next Friday and this upcoming Friday and Saturday against the Danbury Hat-Tricks, and then they'll face the Binghamton Black Bears next week. They'll head on the road, and again, outside of Michigan, Prowlers without a win outside of the state so far this season. So they'll try and change that when they visit the defending champion Black Bears. Prowlers 0-1 so far this year against the Black Bears. Well, the Black Bears picked up a victory today over the Danbury Hat-Tricks. That final score 3-2. Caden Henry, 2 goals and an assist, was the first star of the game. Chase Harwell, a goal and an assist. The second star, Tyson Kirkby, with a goal, was the third star of the game. Connor McAnanama made 24 saves in the victory, and Connor McCullum 19 saves in the loss. And again, those are the next 2 teams the Prowlers will face. Hat-Tricks will be heading over to Michigan likely sometime tomorrow, and the Black Bears will wait for the Prowlers to visit them next weekend. Zydeco and River Dragons tied up at 2 through 40 minutes of play. It's Brody Thornton, the second period goal for Baton Rouge. Ryan Galvin, the second period goal for Columbus. Those 2 teams matching each other stride for stride down in Columbus, Georgia. Finally, the Mississippi Seawolves have the only goal of the game so far, as they're hosting the Monroe Moccasins. It's Blake Keller who is found in the back of the net there, as the Seawolves look to snap a lengthy losing skid and pick up just their second win of the season. Of course, here it is 1-0 in favor of the Port Huron Prowlers. Referees have hit the ice. It's just about time for period number 3, and it is time to answer our PHP Network trivia question. The Canadians certainly know this answer. Do the Americans know when Canadian Thanksgiving was this year? It was October the 14th. Thanks so much for playing, and maybe we'll get back to hockey questions this weekend. Once again, I hope everyone has a safe and happy American Thanksgiving tomorrow, whether you're gathering with family or not. Your family here on the PHP Network. Even if you're a Rockers fan, we'll accept you here on the PHP Network. Not sure about the fans here at McMorran Place, but you're certainly all right for tuning in here with us every time the Rockers are here. You just saw the Rockers take the ice, led out by Ricky Gonzalez. He's made 18 saves on 19 Prowler shots through 40 minutes of play. Here comes Valtteri Nussiainen leading out the Port Huron Prowlers. 17 saves on 17 Rocker shots through the first 40 minutes. Brian Parsons will have to head back to the sin bin to begin period number 3. 54 seconds still up on his interference call, coming near the end of period number 2. So the Prowlers will have just a little bit more time to kill on the Rockers' 5th man advantage of the night before they get back to 5-on-5 and try and get back on the offense. Maybe find a little bit of insurance and try to not blow a third period lead, I guess is the most direct way to say it. Try and hold on to this lead and get back in the win column. We're underway here in period 3. Josh Colton With his first touch, sends it across to Rivers. He's harassed by Federley, and the Rockers forced to start over. Colton back for Wynn. Back up to Colton. Dumped right in. Nusiainen trying to clear it himself off the glass, and he got through. Wynn and down. 25 seconds left on the power play for Motor City. Here comes Baptiste with a head of steam. Chipped it around. Thelstrom couldn't pick it up on the other side, though. Johnson cleared it to the wall. Thelstrom chops it out off a Rocker's stick and out of play. The clock continuing to tick here. Rockers certainly won't be happy about this one as the clock is still ticking. They need to put time back up on there. They also need to put Brian Parsons' penalty back up there. Right now I have 19-18. An extra 15 to 16 seconds ticked off, and they put 15 seconds back up there for Parsons. Or at least they did for a moment. Now they'll try it again. We'll see. Still working on it. Now they put 19-13 up there. So 8 seconds left on the penalty to Parsons. Prowlers end up on the winning side of that. As James won it forward, but it's taken by the Rockers. McGill Diaz down to Kuhn in front looking for Wells. And that one just slipped through. Parsons out of the box now as the shot came to the net. Saved by Nusiani. He got the rebound as well on Smith. Smith all the way around the cage. Gets up top. He swings around again. Save made by Nusiainen. Now Sim just able to push it out of the zone. So we're back to 5-on-5 while Terry Nusiainen coming up with some big stops right at the end of that Rockers power play. Alex Johnson. Waiting. Gave it away to Gagnon. Backhand save. Nusiainen. Bailing out Alex Johnson on the former Prowler Gagnon. Here's Thelstrom the other way. All the way around it. Lockhart couldn't load it up. He sends it deep all the way around. And now recollected at center by Stiles. Adam Heinzel over to Lockhart. Chased back by Gagnon. Lockhart to his former college teammate Rencourt. This one bounced back to Prowler ice. Lockhart reverses this side. Heinzel up towards Vaughn. Milam stopped him there. Gagnon fan getting it back deep. Delayed offsides against the Rockers as Adam Heinzel retreats. Heinzel to Lockhart. And his pass turned over. Sneath couldn't get a shot away as he dropped it back to Milam. Sneath cycling it around to Rivers. Kicked around, cleared to the wall by Federley. Milam winds, fakes, over to Oakes. Down low, back in front. That was actually Delaney, who's now tied up by Federley. Good play by Austin Federley to keep Tim Delaney from getting an opportunity. This one goes all the way down. Icing called against the Port Huron Prowlers 3 minutes into period 3. And the Prowlers having some trouble hanging on to the puck, and they're giving it away early on in this third. Well, Terry Nusiainen with his biggest save of the night on Sam Gagnon. Able to stone Gagnon after it was Alex Johnson with an uncharacteristic giveaway. Rencourt able to get that one out. He heads off for a change. Smith leaves it for Wynn. Quick up. Tried to be touched in by Kuhn. That hit Parsons. Now Petrovitsin, D to Brian Parsons, who gives it back with an indirect feed off the back wall. Lead pass to Federley. Touches it in. Heads off for a change. Wynn to Colton. Back for Mike Wynn. He gets the red line. Dumps it right in. Petrovitsin first there. Wells right in on him. Wells able to move it to Smith. Ripped across towards Colton. Fires it on net. Just missed wide. Caroms around to the far side. Smith and Scantlebury canceled out. And now Petroditsin finally settles down that bouncing puck. Kicked right back into the zone by Wynn, though. The puck never left. Parsons off the glass this time. Scantlebury couldn't get it out. Good play by Wynn, knocking it out of the air. They'll try this side. Now Sim back over to the far side. Scantlebury once more this time. Able to escape the Port Huron zone. And Vaughn finishes his check on Wynn. Petroditsin at the end of a long shift. Gave it over to Matt Graham. Bounces it back this way. Petroditsin behind the cage to Parsons. Turnover. Sent in front. Shots. They score. And it's Carson Baptiste. Prowlers playing with fire. And another turnover. This time results in a goal, and we're tied up at 1. That defense pairing of Petroditsin and Parsons was out there for a long shift. They gave it away behind the net and came out in front for Carson Baptiste, his 4th goal of the year. We have a brand new hockey game, 1-1. It's been all Motor City to start this third period, and the third period concerns for the Prowlers continue. Sneath twisting and turning in the corner. Hellstrom stole it from Rivers behind the net. Now Frazee trying to send Graham on his way. He skates into it. Over to Federley. Down around behind the net. Frazee is doubled over behind the play, heading back to the Prowler bench. Sneath works in, poked off his stick by Johnson. Now Vaughn, quick up to Hellstrom. He gets in. Tried a drop pass, couldn't find a teammate. Rockers try and turn back up. Lockhart quickly up to Hellstrom. Left wing side, kicked off of Styles' skate. Couple of Prowlers sending Tristan Wells to the ice. Chartrand softly off the boards. Delaney player right back into Chartrand. Down to the net. And Gonzalez had to stretch out to make that save. It looked like a harmless chance, but Jake Vaughn was right there in front, hoping to disrupt. As Sim rips it in front. He was looking for Scantlebury coming down the backside, and Rotundi got in the way. Now Rotundi knocks down Scantlebury. Penalty coming up. And the whistle is blown. Ryan Rotundi for a cross-check. We'll head to the penalty box. Prowlers to the power play for the 5th time in this game. When we come back, we're now tied. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. Philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Prowlers power play, 13:54 left in period number 3. They've seen the game tied. It's been all Motor City to start this third period. But Ryan Rotundi's cross-checking penalty, an opportunity to change the tide. Prowlers have out Matt Graham's unit. He'll take the face-off against TJ Sneath. Start this one. That's one back. Sim trying to go right down to Johnson, who headed to the net. That was blocked up in the air. Rivers chasing after it, and it's kept in at the line by Federley. Didn't get too much on that clear, did Eli Rivers. Now Federle with some space. He walks in, ripped it wide. Coming in are a couple of Prowlers. That's lifted over top by Sim. As that puck sat there right at the side of the crease. A couple of Prowlers overskated, and Sim able to get a shot away, but too tall. Lockhart. He and Federle play catch. Federle and Johnson switch spots. Graham battling in front. Sim in the slot. Now Lockhart and Johnson switch places. Lockhart down to Federle. All the way across, they open it up to Johnson. Minute 5 left in the power play. Pass all the way across, hit a couple of sticks, but did get to Federle. He couldn't get his pass to Lockhart, though. That's as good as a Motor City clear. Scantleberry fresh off the bench. Leaves it for Thelstrom. Second unit on for the Prowlers. Scantleberry with a nice move. He works in. Shot blocker save by Gonzalez. Lifted to the line. Thelstrom able to keep it in. Slips it down to Frazee. All the way around the net he goes. Now back up high. Scantleberry. Frazee. Down to Chartrand. Vaughn. Scantleberry. 20 seconds left on the power play. Thelstrom spinning away from McGill Diaz. Now it's Vaughn. His shot eaten up by Ricky Gonzalez. No rebound. 11 seconds left on the penalty to Ryan Rotundi. 1,135 fans officially announced here tonight at McMorran Place. I'm surprised this game is going off without a hitch. We are missing our leader of in-game operations, Amber Graham, and also, of course, the team store personnel in Amber Graham. We do miss her here at McMorran Place, but we're getting everything done. Prowlers' power play is done as Johnson works back up high over to Lockhart. Now Federle tried to send it in front. That went off a stick, and it caroms out to the neutral zone. So Port Huron drops to 1 for 5 on the power play tonight. Johnson turns his way up. He gets in, but couldn't push it on net as he fanned on the shot. Vaughn pulls it out of the corner to the slot. Drop for Graham. Takes the shot. He scores! Matt Graham pops the bottle and puts the Prowlers back in front. Vaughn with a nice handoff to Graham, and he had an opportunity to take his time and pick his spot. He goes top corner. Matt Graham has his second goal of the season. Did come in, though, tonight tied for the FPHL lead in assists. 15 this year for him. Tied with Davide Gaeta of Hudson Valley. There's Matt Graham putting it in the back of the net. And a big goal for the Prowlers. They go back in front. Vaughn will pick up his second assist of the game. He's the one that dumps that one in on Gonzalez for a whistle and a face-off. So Vaughn, usually a shooter, and we've seen him get to the middle of the ice like that a number of times this season before his shots have been stymied by sticks in the lane. He this time decides to make a pass off, and it pays off. As Kenny Stiles got a good deflection on that Brian Parsons shot a moment ago. Alex Johnson picking up the other assist. As Wynn goes back behind the cage to Colton, back up to Mike Wynn. Red line, tried the dump. Second opportunity, got to Nusiainen, who passes it off for Petroditsin. Quick up, touched in by Chartrand. Wynn hustles after it with Sim, and he gave it away to Scantleberry. Prowlers have numbers working, and Scantleberry to James, saved by Gonzalez. And he hangs on as he took some contact. Quick turnover right in the neutral zone. Prowlers came in 2-on-1. Could have called it a 3-on-1 as well. And Scantleberry gave a nice pass over to Luke James. And I think Scantleberry is thinking about dropping the mitts with Carson Baptiste. And Baptiste, with no interest, will head to the bench. Maybe later. Off this face-off, Scantleberry spinning. And he's spun down to the ice by Holt. Rockers move out. Here's Rotundi, a drive. And that one steered to the corner by Nucian, and Rotundi outmuscles Thelstrom. A penalty is coming up now against Port Huron, maybe. Or is it Motor City? Interference, the call on, is it Ryan Rotundi going to the box? It seems to be. They send Rotundi to the box. They say, I guess, that he made contact with Thelstrom too soon. So Port Huron back to the man advantage, unsuccessful on their last one, but scored shortly thereafter. And they'll try and pick up an insurance marker, leading by 1 just before the midway point of period number 3, the Scholes family McDonald's third period. This one gloved to the line and kept in by Johnson. Well, Port Huron able to set up a saucer pass right on Johnson's tape. Down to Graham. In front, looking for Sim, and he didn't get all of it. Sneak starts to work his way out. Over towards McGill Diaz. Good back check by Johnson to steal that one away. Quick up to Graham. Touched for Sim. Bouncing around, ends up in the corner as Milam put up a wall. And then Milam swung and missed at that clearing attempt. Sim first on it behind the cage. Graham out high to Johnson. Back to Graham on the half wall. Johnson once more. Lockhart. Sim in front. Now the Graham, who's moved to the near side corner. Out high Lockhart. Switches spots with Federley. Federley at the top. Winds and fires. Saved by Gonzalez. And Johnson couldn't collect that rebound cleanly enough to put it back on net. McGill Diaz with a toss down ice. Handled by Nuciainen. 52 seconds left to go on this Prowlers man advantage as they switch up the unit. Scantleberry waiting for Thelstrom to step off the bench. He grabs it and gives it right back to Tucker Scantleberry. Cross to the right wing to Jake Vaughn. Pulls up. Try to get it down deep. Chartrand bangs it up top. Thelstrom across to Scantleberry. His shot rose off the back glass, and it caroms all the way back down to Prowler ice. Final 18 seconds ticking off this Prowlers man advantage. Here comes Thelstrom. Trying to get it to Vaughn. Avery Smith guys sticking the way. Here's Scantleberry back in. Freezy, a shot gloved by Ricky Gonzalez, sliding across in the splits. We'll get a whistle and a face-off. 5 seconds left on this Prowlers power play when we come back here on the PHP Network.
EDA, providing local business support for over 70 years. And helping to boost our region's workforce, retain and attract talent. Working to grow the local economy and the flow of money into our community to help businesses be profitable and successful. Focused on improving the region's economic strength and quality of life for residents. To learn more about the EDA of St. Clair County, visit edascc.com.
Explore 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron in Michigan's Thumb Coast. Begin your adventure on a blanket of golden sand at one of our serene beaches. Connect with the historic atmosphere of our region's nautical influence and reconnect with friends under a blanket of stars. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
5 seconds left to tick off this Prowlers power play, and then we'll be back at 5-on-5. Still 2-1 Port Huron, with just over 8 minutes left to go in period number 3. Each team with a goal in this frame. It was Carson Baptiste, just 4:43 in, and then Matt Graham answering less than 4 minutes later. face-off tied up. Rancourt trying to pull it out. He does. Parsons at the line. Back to Rancourt, who gives it back to Parsons. Down low. Good save by Gonzalez as Parsons with the shot pass found Kenny Styles' stick. Now Rancourt to James. Out high. Petrovitson has to play it with his skate. Working down the wall. Styles around towards Rancourt. And the Rockers able to recollect the puck. Win, bounce off the wall to Rivers. Lofts this one off the glass. Rotundi, cross corner dump. Lands for Parsons, has sneaked right in on him. Moves it quickly to Petrovitson. Kenny Styles works his way out. He just has a fun name to say, Kenny Styles. I'll be honest, I did get chirped for this. I thought it was a nickname, as Baptiste couldn't get that one on net. This one, and the puck caroms out to the neutral zone. I thought Kenny Styles was just a nickname they were all calling him, and then today I learned that is his real name. So if you want to get a Kenny Styles jersey, be sure to come out for a future jersey auction. This one knocked down. Graham sends it into the offensive zone. Gonzalez stops it there. McGill Diaz watched by Vaughn. Motor City finishing up a change. The home run pass was in Rotundi's direction. Nusiainen plays it around to this side. Johnson off the boards. Sim heading after it, but Holt claps it towards the cage. That one ends up scampering back to Motor City ice. Smith turning up. He gave it right away to Daniel Chartrand. He has the red line. He dumps it around. Gonzalez back up the far boards. This one ends up going all the way down to the Prowlers zone. Doesn't have the legs for icing though, so Parsons plays it. To Petrovitson. Gets around Sneath. Tosses it around. Scantleberry first there. Went up to the point to Parsons. Now off the near side corner boards. Luke James cycling it. Chartrand, now Scantleberry. Drop for Parsons. His shot stopped by Gonzalez. No rebound. Luke James right there just in case there was. And now Chartrand coming in to get into somebody's face. 5:38 left to go in this third period. And still not done in front of the Motor City net. And now punches being thrown as it's escalating again. Uh-oh, gloves are off for Scantleberry. Sneath is turtling. Meanwhile in the corner, Chartrand and Baptiste are trying to fight through a linesman. Now Scantleberry throwing punches at Rivers. Now Gonzalez comes after Scantleberry. Everybody's grabbing somebody. Scantleberry throwing punches at Gonzalez. Rivers on top of Scantleberry. Parsons grabbing Rivers. And now Holt comes in to grab Parsons. It's a 2-on-1 on Parsons. Scantleberry has Gonzalez down. And now we'll settle things. And Tucker Scantleberry getting the crowd going here at McMorran Place. Wow, that escalated quickly. And now there's a linesman down. Oh boy. I didn't see what happened, but he's slow to his skates as he was bringing Chartrand to the penalty box. Oh, and they just lost their balance. Chartrand right there to see if he was all right. I'm not sure which linesman that is. I can't see from here. Zach Zolkanich, the assistant coach for the Motor City Rockers, up on top of his bench. Linesman seems to be all right. Prowlers trainer Bridget Smith heading back to the Prowler bench. Luke James still gathering himself in the corner as he ended up at the bottom of one of those piles. It is a yard sale on the ice. Scantleberry yelling over to the Motor City penalty box. We have two players in each box right now. It didn't look like much at front at first. And then it just kept escalating. And again, I don't think that was intentional. I don't think Daniel Chartrand was doing anything intentional. Just got tripped as he and the linesman were tripped up, but they seem no worse for wear right now, and we'll see what the penalties are when they come down. It all broke loose. Ricky Gonzalez was involved, coming all the way out to the face-off circle to grab Tucker Scantlebury. Scantlebury wanted to grab somebody, and he wasn't going to let anybody stop him. 5:39 left to go in what is a very close hockey game, so this could certainly have implications to how this game ends, whatever the penalties are. Both referees over there, Steve Gowdy and Jim Scarpace. One of the off-ice officials has also stepped onto the ice to chat with the referees. So it is that complicated right now. And now still going on the conversations. Captains Austin Federley and Josh Colton over there representing their respective clubs. 5:38 left to go in what has been an increasingly wild hockey game. Daniel Chartrand is being shown the door tonight. Looks like his night is over. Scantlebury still in the box. Two Rockers still in their respective penalty boxes. Prowlers up on shots in this third period at 10-7. They came in with a 1-0 lead. We talked about it ad nauseum during that second intermission and throughout the broadcast, especially at the top. The troubles they've had in the third period in Louisiana last weekend. They gave up third period leads in each one of those losses, 2 to the Baton Rouge Zydeco, 1 to the Monroe Moccasins. They give up the third period lead tonight. The big difference, they fought back tonight. They got that goal to get back in front, and last two times that happened, once they were tied, they did not score again. In all three of those games last weekend. Once they got tied in the third period, the Prowlers offense did not score again. They found another goal tonight. And they are back in front. They have another lead. Valtteri Nusiainen has been sharp again in net. He came into tonight's game ranked second in the FPHL with a .934 save percentage and fourth in the league with a .219 goals against average, and that's a guy that you make your starting goaltender. Of course, Reed Cooper coming in and certainly be a 1B with his resume. So not only do you have Valtteri Nusiainen, again with his great stats, you have Reed Cooper's great resume, as the fans are getting into it a little bit with the Motor City Rockers bench, and hopefully that doesn't turn too ugly. Fans are all sitting in their seats as more of the Rockers are making motions at the Prowler fans right now. TJ Seath, Nick McGill-Diaz involved. You see TJ Seath there on your left pointing up at some Prowler fans. But as I was talking about with the goaltenders, Prowlers looking for more of a 1A, 1B type of deal instead of a straight starter and straight backup. They felt they had a starter and a backup with Nusiainen and Sokolov, so they opt to make the change. And again, with a guy like Reed Cooper becomes available, not only did Cooper play in the SPHL this year and last year, he played in the ECHL last year, and he also dressed for an NHL game as an amateur tryout contract. It doesn't count in the points system before anyone starts going off about it, but when he graduated Curry College in 2023, after being named the conference's player of the year, he was called up by the Washington Capitals as they had some issues with Charlie Lindgren in the final game of that season. Cherry Lindgren, their backup, Darcy Kemper, the starter that year for the Capitals. They got called up because Lindgren couldn't back up that night. He wasn't available, injury or whatnot. And they didn't have enough cap space to call somebody up from Hershey. So they went with the amateur tryout route. So Reed Cooper got a chance to sit on an NHL bench, take NHL warm-ups. I'm sure he remembers exactly what it was like taking a warm-up shot from Alexander Ovechkin. But he's been around at all levels, you could say. And he has a great resume. Again, I talked about his final season at Curry College, which was phenomenal. He was named the Commonwealth Coast Conference, now called the Conference of New England, the Commonwealth Coach Conference goaltender and player of the year. In a great ending to his college career. That was back in the 2022-23 season. Last year he played in the ECHL with the South Carolina Stingrays, who happen to be the farm team of the Washington Capitals, as well as the Pensacola Ice Flyers in the SPHL. And this year so far, 2 appearances in the SB, one with Macon and one with Pensacola. But last year with the Stingrays, Cooper had a 3-1 record, not a great save percentage. Now George Holt has been asked to leave, and if I had to guess, that would have something to do with what went on between the Rockers bench and the fans, because I don't believe Holt was on the ice. There are currently 5 Prowlers and 4 Rockers on the ice. Looks like it's going to shake out as a Prowler power play. All right, they're all down on my penalty sheet here. We have Ricky Gonzalez, 2 minutes for goalie leaving the crease. Ryan Rotundi, 2 for roughing. Daniel Chartrand, 2 for roughing, 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct, and a 10-minute abuse of officials misconduct. Tucker Scantleberry and Carson Baptiste, 5 for fighting, and George Holt gets a 10-minute misconduct for leaving the player bench. So when all that shakes out, an extra 2 minutes to the Rockers and a Prowler power play. Here's Brett Lockhart starting it up. One hands it along the boards, but the Rockers first on it, and they clear down ice. Prowler power play, 1 for 6 so far in this hockey game. Federley up to Lockhart. Now Alex Johnson makes a move to the outside. Johnson trying to turn the corner. And the pass off the boards ends up on Federley's tape, but he gave it right to TJ Sneath. 2-on-1 developing. Lockhart gets back to even it up, and Sneath swung and missed at the puck. Nusi then found it, and he covers up for a whistle and a face-off. We will take our final timeout. Under 5 to play in regulation. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken bag, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We invite you to tune into our next broadcast on Friday, November the 29th, when the Prowlers host the Danbury Hat Tricks. Puck drop is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. here at McMorran Place. Pre-show starts at 6:50. It's all right here on the PHP Network. Of course, if you can be in the building, be sure to be here. Your post-Thanksgiving plans are made. Prowlers and Hat Tricks Friday night and Saturday night. Either bring the family or come without them because you're sick and tired of them. Rencourt dumps this one deep. He one-hands it around. Jeremy Rencourt getting an opportunity on this power play with Scantlebury and Chartrand both unavailable for it. This one dumped down ice. Kenny Stiles also on this power play for Port Huron. Those two joined by the regular power play group of Felstrom, Vaughn, and Frazee. Rencourt, high sauce towards Frazee, but it was in the zone. Prowlers had to touch up, so he couldn't head after it immediately. 30 seconds left to go on the power play for Port Huron as Rencourt backhands it softly, and it lands on Colton's tape. Wynn with his head up, off the glass, and stopped at the red line by Felstrom. It's laid offside against the Prowlers as they touch up. Final 10 seconds ticking off their power play. Smith will just hold on and rip it down, and that will do it. So 2 more minutes off the clock, at least for the Prowlers, but they're still looking for an insurance marker, leading by 1. Touched in by Graham, and Gonzalez had to react to make a save there. That one came in with some momentum. McGill Diaz with momentum of his own. Shot it off a Prowler stick, headed after it himself. This one centered right on Federley's tape. Tried to float it along, hit Delaney. Parsons chopping at Rivers, able to force Eli Rivers out of the zone. Now Sneath back into the forehand save by Nusiainen. Another big one from Valtteri Nusiainen tonight. Now Graham works out all by himself. He'll wait for help. Frazee overskated it. Or that was James, pardon me. Now it's Oakes from the outside. And Nusiainen able to handle that one cleanly. And a little extra. Heinzel and Oakes getting into it. Nothing like some bad blood around Thanksgiving time, right? Face-off will be to Nusiainen's left. Smith and Stiles for the face-off. Fake drop, we'll try it again. And now we'll try it again as Stiles, I believe, will be asked to leave the face-off. So Luke James will come in to take it instead. One back by the Rockers. Colton floats it through, and Nusiainen snatches it down. '27th save of the night for Valtteri Nusiainen, keeping the Prowlers ahead. We will keep an eye on Ricky Gonzalez down in the other net to our right. See when he heads off the ice for an extra attacker should the Rockers need one. Prowlers have iced this puck. The faceoff will come right back down into their end. 2's up on the clock here at McMorran Place. A 2-1 hockey game. Sim and Smith. This time on the draw, Sim wins it back clean. Heinzel in the corner, able to get it to Sim. Up the boards and gotten out by Stiles. Wynn turns it back up to Wells. Off the glass, he gets it in. Heinzel reverse up the far side. Now Heinzel again, this time rims it this side. Colton, all he could do was throw it towards the net. That was partially blocked by Rencourt, and Vaughn just chops it over the blue line. Now Parsons playing it against Wynn. Rencourt takes it away. Off the boards, Gonzalez forced to retreat in his net as the Prowlers have possession. Rencourt lost it. Colton to Delaney, tried to dump it in, and Heinzel didn't let him. As Adam Heinzel blocked that dump attempt, Prowlers on the puck. They floated along. Good play by McGill Diaz, or else the Prowlers would have had a 2-on-1 as Graham tried to go up to Federley. Matt Graham off the glass and out. This one rolling and no icing. So McGill Diaz forced to play it. 70 seconds left to go in this one. Gonzalez still in his net. Now he'll venture out and sprint to the bench for an extra attacker. Lockhart reverses this way to Johnson. Milam to the net. That one blocked by Graham and floated just past McGill Diaz at the line. Federley out in the neutral zone, providing pressure. Comes to Johnson. Had his head up to the empty net. Instead, he goes off the boards. And Rotundi sends it in. Nusiainen all the way around the wall. That one bounces past McGill Diaz again. Now Johnson looks towards the empty cage. He hits Sneath. So no icing. 25 seconds left to go. McGill Diaz on his backhand. Floats it in front. That one knocked away. Lockhart took a big hit as he played defense. Milam shot knocked down in front. Still loose at the top of the crease. They blew it dead. Nusiainen made the save. And a Prowler knocked down. There will be a penalty against Motor City as Ryan Rotundi to the box. Alex Johnson, the one slow to his skates, in his own crease as Johnson still doubled over, now recollects his stick. And number 25 in red will head up to the offensive zone. Huge play in this game as Rotundi just shoved down Johnson. I think he was on top of the puck. Looks like a timeout been called. No timeout. Pardon me. Rotundi just shoved Johnson to the ice, and he got a penalty as the puck was underneath Alex Johnson after Nusiainen made the original save, if that puck even did get through to him originally on the shot from Milam. The Prowlers to their 8th power play of the game. They hope it will only last 9 seconds as Federley plays it in his own end. Soft toss out, and that will do it. The Prowlers return home and snap a 3-game losing skid, picking up a 2-1 victory over the Motor City Rockers. Prowlers now leading the Battle of I-94 3-0. They move to 5-1-0 here at home, 6-6-2 overall, and a big 3 points in the Empire Division standings. Meanwhile, the Rockers dropping to 3-9 this season. They have lost 7 of their last 8, searching for answers and unable to beat the Prowlers once again. And for the 3rd time in as many Battle of I-94 games, Valtteri Nusiainen with 1 goal against tonight. He made 29 saves and a few big ones throughout this game. We will have much more for you coming up on the post-game show right here on the PHP Network, so stick around.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Back here at McMorran Place, your final tonight, the Prowlers defeat the Motor City Rockers by a score of 2-1. Time now to get back through this one. A low-scoring affair. We saw a scoreless first 20 minutes. Rockers outshot the Prowlers 12-5 in that first frame. Finally, minute and a half into period 2, Prowlers on the power play. And it was Joel Frazee with his first goal as a Port Huron Prowler, picking up the rebound after a shot by Jake Vaughn. And the Prowlers took the lead from there. But in the third, the demons of third periods past reared their ugly heads again for the Port Huron Prowlers as they gave up a goal early on to Carson Baptiste. Turnover after turnover to start the period, and it finally came back to bite them. And Baptiste able to knot the score at 1. But Port Huron fought back, and it was Jake Vaughn again making it happen as he worked his way to the slot, dropped it off for Matt Graham, who picked his spot. And that came just about 4 minutes after Baptiste tied it. That was the game-winning goal. Valtteri Nusiainen and the defense took it the rest of the way, and the Prowlers moved to 3-0 in the Battle of I-94 this season. As Eli Rivers is the third star of the game with an assist. Matt Graham, the second star, with a goal, and Frazee, the first star of the game, with a goal himself. Surely Valtteri Nusiainen and Jake Vaughn in that conversation for stars of the game, as Nusiainen made 29 saves in the win, and Ricky Gonzalez took the loss with 28 saves himself. Gonzalez also picking up a penalty during that wild fracas near the end of the third period that saw Daniel Chartrand ejected and lots of penalties, but it gave the Prowlers a 2-minute power play that they were able to just run 2 more minutes off the clock, and they get it to the horn tonight. A 2-1 victory for the Prowlers. Well, stick around on the PHP Network post-game show. We'll take one more look around the league, but first, before we do that, let's take a look at the final stats from tonight. Ended up being an even 30 shots for both sides. Prowlers power play 1 for 8 tonight, although that last one only lasted 9 seconds because of the penalty to Rotundi as he was trying to dig for a loose puck. Just stood up and cross-checked Alex Johnson. Doesn't matter if the puck is underneath Alex Johnson or not. You can't do that. So Rotundi, they called it interference. And that is your final penalty tonight as the Prowlers pick up the victory. Again, we'll be right back. And when we come back, we'll take one last look around the league and wrap this one up right here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Will Wiggleman back with you one final time here at McMorran Place. Prowlers defeat the Motor City Rockers by a final score of 2-1. And in poor foresight, I had the camera taken down before we finished the postgame show. But we will power through as we take one last look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We already talked about the Black Bears defeating the Hat Tricks tonight by a final of 3-2. How about the Zydeco and the River Dragons? Final minutes of the third. Dragons up by a goal, 4-3. Kirk Underwood with what right now would be the game winner with just over 3 minutes left in that one. There's less than 2 now to go in that game. Speaking of Dragons, former Dragon Jay Krupp has a goal. So is Ben Stefanini. Those are the only 2 goals since the last time we checked in on the Seawolves and Moccasins. 2-1 Mississippi as they play in, or they get set for period number 3 there. Of course, the Prowlers tonight winning by a final score of 2-1. Want you to tune in on Friday when the Prowlers take on the Danbury Hat Tricks. Puck drop scheduled for 7:05. Pregame show starts at 6:50. If you can be in the building, be sure to come out to McMorran for your post-Thanksgiving activities. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving from me to you and your families. Please enjoy a happy and safe Thanksgiving tomorrow, and we will see you back here on Friday night right here on the PHP Network.